Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Before we dive into this story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around until the very end of this one because what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you see babymonster's Ahyeon. You know what's wild? Ahyeon from babymonster has become one of the most talked about fourth-generation K-pop idols, but not always for the right reasons. Scroll through any social media platform and you'll find countless comments criticizing her for overdancing, screaming during high notes, or trying too hard on stage. Some people even call her attention-seeking. But here's the thing that nobody's talking about, the truth that's been hiding in plain sight this entire time. And once you hear it, I promise you'll never look at Ahyeon the same way again. Let me paint you a picture. January 2023. YG Entertainment reveals babymonster to the world through their survival show, Last Evaluation. 7 incredibly talented trainees competing for their dreams. And there's this one girl, young Ahyeon, who absolutely dominates every single stage. We're talking about a 16-year-old who trained for 5 years, who can sing, rap, and dance at a level that most established idols would envy. She ranked first in the final evaluation. First. Out of all those incredibly talented girls, Ahyeon stood at the top. But then something happened that shocked everyone. November 2023, just 2 weeks before babymonster's scheduled debut, YG Entertainment dropped a bombshell. Ahyeon wouldn't be debuting with the group. The reason? Health issues. And just like that, the girl who was supposed to be the center, the ace, the face of this highly anticipated group was suddenly gone. babymonster debuted as 6 members on November 27, 2023, with their hit song, Batter Up, and Ahyeon watched from the sidelines. Now here's where the story gets interesting, and this is what the haters don't know. While Ahyeon was on hiatus, while she was recovering from whatever health issues she was dealing with, something magical was happening on the internet. Remember her cover of Charlie Puth's Dangerously? That performance video that YG uploaded back in April 2023 when she was still a trainee? It went absolutely viral. We're talking millions and millions of views. Vocal coaches from around the world were analyzing her technique. Reaction channels couldn't get enough of it. And then Charlie Puth himself saw it. The original artist, Charlie freaking Puth, left a comment saying, "I loved it." But it didn't stop there. Charlie Puth was so impressed by this 16-year-old girl's cover that he did something unprecedented. He gifted babymonster an entirely new song called Like That, specifically because of Ahyeon's cover. Let that sink in for a moment. A globally successful American pop star wrote and gave away a song to a K-pop group that hadn't even officially debuted yet, all because one member's cover moved him that much. That's not just talent, that's the kind of once-in-a-generation artistry that makes established musicians stop and take notice. But wait, you might be thinking, if she's so talented, why all the hate? Why do people constantly criticize her performances? Well, here's the secret that's going to blow your mind. The criticism Ahyeon receives isn't actually about her talent at all. It's about something much deeper, much more heartbreaking. See, Ahyeon missed her own group's debut. Think about that for a second. She trained for 5 years. She ranked number 1 in the final evaluation. She was ready. And then health issues forced her to watch her members debut without her. January 25, 2024, YG Entertainment announced Ahyeon had recovered and would be rejoining babymonster for their first mini-album, babymonster 7er, releasing April 1st. YG even re-recorded Batter Up and Stuck in the Middle to include her vocals, giving fans the complete 7-member versions. But here's what people don't understand about Ahyeon's situation. When she finally got to perform with her group on April 1, 2024, she wasn't just performing. She was making up for lost time. She was proving to herself, to her company, to her fans, and yes, even to the haters, that she belonged there. That the girl who ranked first in evaluations was still that same powerhouse performer. That's why she gives 110% on stage. That's why her facials are so intense. That's why she pours every ounce of energy into every performance. It's not attention-seeking. It's not overdoing it. It's a young artist who had her debut taken away from her, who had to watch from the sidelines while her dreams seemed to slip away, and who came back with something to prove. Every time Ahyeon steps on that stage, she's performing like it might be her last chance. Because she knows what it's like to have that opportunity taken away. And you know what's even more heartbreaking? The criticism got so bad that even industry professionals had to step in. During the 2025 Mama Awards in November, after Ahyeon performed and received massive backlash for her high notes in their performance, Ahyeon, who provides vocals for the movie K-pop Demon Hunters, posted a strongly worded message defending her. Without naming babymonster directly, Ahyeon wrote about how exhausting and regressive it is to tear down female artists, emphasizing that performing publicly is frightening and emotionally heavy. The hate had gotten so intense that even people outside the K-pop industry felt compelled to speak up. YG Entertainment founder Ahyeon'S himself has addressed this. During behind-the-scenes footage from babymonster's Forever performance video, he gave Ahyeon specific advice about matching the energy with her members. But here's the key thing he said: he called her a warrior that has many weapons. Not someone doing too much. A warrior. Someone with multiple talents and the drive to showcase them all. He was giving her constructive feedback to help the group look more cohesive, not telling her to dim her light. Let me share some facts that the haters conveniently ignore. Ahyeon can speak Korean, English, and Chinese fluently. She's a main vocalist with a vocal range spanning 3 octaves, hitting notes up to B5. She's a lead rapper with a unique tone that even surprised people during member reveals when they found out she wasn't the main rapper. She's a lead dancer, center, and face of the group. Dance trainer Lee Young praised her understanding of strength control and stability as a center. At just 18 years old, she's what YG accurately describes as an all-rounder ace. And let's talk about babymonster's achievements since Ahyeon joined as a complete 7-member group. Their debut EP, babymonster 7 received over 460,000 pre-orders and debuted at number 3 on the Circle album chart. Sheesh peaked at number 10 on the Circle digital chart and became the highest-charting K-pop girl group entry on Spotify that year. Their first studio album, Drip, sold over 1 million copies in South Korea and marked their first entry on the Billboard 200. They became the fastest female act to headline KSPO Dome, accomplishing this within 8 months of debut. Their Hello Monsters World Tour, that started in January 2025, has been selling out arenas across the globe, with 100,000 tickets sold just in Japan alone. These aren't the achievements of a group with a weak link. These aren't the numbers of an idol who's doing too much. This is what happens when 7 incredibly talented young women, including one who fought her way back from a health hiatus, pour their hearts into their craft. And yes, Ahyeon is a huge part of that success. Here's something else people don't talk about. Ahyeon is still in high school. In November 2025, it was announced she wouldn't be taking the 2026 College Scholastic Ability Test despite being a senior at Hanlim Multi-Art School. Why? Because she's out there touring the world, performing in sold-out arenas, and building a career that most people twice her age would kill for. She's 18 years old and handling the kind of pressure and scrutiny that would break most adults. Think about it from her perspective for a moment. You're 16 years old, you've trained for 5 years, you rank first in your evaluation, you're about to achieve your lifelong dream, and then it's taken away because of health issues you can't control. Then you spend months watching your group debut without you, wondering if you'll ever get that chance. Finally, you recover, you rejoin your group, but now you're constantly compared to performances that happened without you. Every single thing you do is scrutinized. If you give your all, you're overdoing it. If you conserve energy for your vocal parts, you're lazy dancing. There's literally no way to win. And through all of this, what does Ahyeon say about her future? When asked what kind of musician she wants to become, she simply answered, "I just want to become a happy musician who fully enjoys this job as me. Not someone trying to outshine her members. Not someone seeking attention. Just a young artist who wants to enjoy performing as herself. That's it. That's all she wants." But instead of letting her do that, people on the internet who've never trained a day in their lives, who've never stood on a stage in front of thousands of people, feel qualified to tear apart every move she makes. The irony is that the qualities people criticize Ahyeon for are the exact same qualities that made legends like Blackpink's Jennie, Twice's Ahyeon, or Red Velvet's Seulgi into the superstars they are today. Fans even worry that Ahyeon is experiencing the same "it girl" curse that Jennie faced back in 2018, where success and talent became reasons for hate rather than celebration. First it was Lee Hyori, then Suzy, then Jennie, then Wonyoung, and now Ahyeon is facing that same manufactured hate train. The pattern is obvious if you're willing to see it. But here's the beautiful thing about Ahyeon. Despite all the hate, despite all the criticism, despite having her debut taken away and then being torn apart when she finally got her chance, she keeps showing up. She keeps performing with that same intensity and passion. She keeps proving why she ranked first in that evaluation. She keeps being the warrior with many weapons that Yang Hyun-suk described. Because real talent, real artistry, real passion, they can't be dimmed by negativity. They shine brighter in the face of it. So the next time you see a video of Ahyeon performing with intense facial expressions, or hear her hitting those powerful high notes, or watch her giving her absolute all during a dance break, I want you to remember this story. Remember the girl who missed her debut. Remember the young artist who had to prove herself all over again. Remember the 18-year-old handling criticism that would destroy most people. Remember that she's not trying to overshadow anyone. She's just a young woman living her dream, a dream that was almost taken away from her, and she's determined to make every single moment count. That's Ahyeon's biggest secret. It's not that she's talentless or attention-seeking or doing too much. It's that she's so grateful for her second chance that she pours everything she has into every performance. She's making up for the time she lost. She's honoring the opportunity she fought to reclaim. And if that kind of passion and dedication makes you uncomfortable, maybe the problem isn't with Ahyeon. Maybe it's with a culture that's become so used to mediocrity that genuine excellence feels like too much. Babymonster is currently on their Hello Monsters World Tour in 2026, and Ahyeon is out there proving every single day why she belongs on that stage. The group has already accumulated wins at major award shows including Rookie of the Year at the Circle Chart Awards, Best Rookie Artist at the Golden Disc Awards, and they were even nominated for the 2025 Mama Awards. These girls are making history, and Ahyeon is an integral part of that success story. So before you leave a hate comment, before you make a video criticizing her over dancing or screaming, before you jump on the bandwagon of tearing down a teenage girl doing her best, remember this video. Remember that behind every performance is a human being with a story, with struggles, with dreams that almost didn't come true. Ahyeon's not perfect, no idol is, but she's real, she's talented, and she's working harder than most of us can imagine. If this video changed your perspective on Ahyeon, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to hear Ahyeon's story. Subscribe and turn on notifications because I've got more untold stories from the K-pop world coming your way. And remember, in a world where you can be anything, choose to be kind. These idols are real people with real feelings, and they deserve our support, not our hate. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ahyeon.